Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. We talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm your host, Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. The college football playoff quarterfinals they're done. They are over. They have finished. They've commenced. And did anybody expect these games to go the way that they did? Did anybody expect Georgia to go down, Ohio State to go down, Alabama to go down? I don't think anybody really knew on Oregon, Texas Tech. I mean, I guess, but these results, can you believe this? Everyone always says only 2, 3, or 4 teams can win it all. Well, the 4 teams that are remaining in the college football playoff don't look like the teams we normally expect. They don't look like the teams that we normally expect at all whatsoever. And I love it right now. I think it is amazing right now what is going on in the college football playoff. They wanted to expand this thing. And I'm against expansion. I don't like the expansion. I think it sucks that the bowl games are basically irrelevant now. Nobody cares about the bowl games. It's all about the playoff. But you expanded the playoffs, and you're getting this. Now, the bye thing. The bye thing is real. I do think it matters. And only Curt Cignetti was able to get his team ready to play after a month off. Only Curt Cignetti. All the other ones lost. And the thing is, absolute disgrace, by the way, what happened at the end of that Georgia-Ole Miss game. An absolute disgrace. I don't even care. Oh, 1 second left. Did you see that crap? Did anybody see the ending of that game just now that literally just ended? I cannot even believe how horribly done. I thought Pete Golding was going to lose his mind. The Ole Miss player, I'm like, what are we doing right now? Like, you're trying to tell me, Caden, nobody cares right now. Nobody cares. You're trying to tell me that 1 second, they got the stage out there. I mean, it's getting about as crazy as the band is on the field type of crap from the play back in 1983 or whatever. 1982, Stanford and Cal, all that kind of stuff. You got the stage out there. You got the confetti raining down. Ole Miss thinks they've won the game. And then it's like, okay, no, they haven't won. Let's reel this thing back in. Georgia's got a puncher's chance. And then they get the free kick, and it's because of the safety. And then Georgia gets the ball, and they touch it, right? You think the 1 second goes, nope, the 1 second doesn't go off. They give Georgia – that was crap. That was absolute crap, and I feel bad for Ole Miss the way that was handled. Only Georgia gets 80 billion chances to win a game, right? That is – hey, well, Alabama, I was wearing it earlier. You know, I still got it, Steve, and I love my Crimson Tide, man. But how in the world can I have my Alabama hat on right now? Like, how can I do that? They suck, man. I did it for the show. I love my Crimson Tide. They got killed, man. Scotty B saying there was a blatant face mask on Georgia. Georgia, gone. History. All of those wonderful such a great program. Such a great program, Georgia. Yeah, all the guys that are getting in trouble all the time. Yeah, well, they lost. Good. Georgia's gone. Ohio State's gone. I hate my Crimson Tide are gone, but I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that too. And now we got 4 teams that aren't normally. I mean, Oregon, they're trying to be something with Phil Knight and all that Nike money and whatever, but they usually aren't. You know, it's more of a recent thing. Indiana out of the blue now. Ole Miss without Lane, which is cool. You know, I didn't think they'd win. I thought there was no shot in the world that Ole Miss was going to beat Georgia. But the bye thing, I mean, did it affect Georgia? Did it affect Georgia? I really don't know. Did it affect Ohio State? Ohio State was clearly affected by it. I will say credit to Miami. Absolute credit to Miami. They played good, really good. Defense, all that stuff, all that crap we heard about the talent and Cristobal's recruiting and the defense and all that, that's great. But I will say that Miami, as good as they were, Ohio State was awful. And I don't know, man. I know the bye excuse, but think about it, Steven. 7-1 are the underdogs with the bye. All right, the teams that got to play the week before. I think it matters. I really, really do think it matters. Only Indiana was prepared because Cignetti ripped the crap out of Indiana the other day and said, this practice is unacceptable. We're going to lose to Alabama if we don't get it together and get back into game form. And whatever he did and said and the methods, it worked because Indiana showed up. The rest of these teams, I mean, Georgia showed up. I mean, the Ole Miss Georgia game the first time was close and it was a great game, but Texas Tech sucked. And I didn't see a second of the game because, unfortunately, I had stuff going on earlier, was not able to watch it. But from what I've heard, Tech sucked. Who cares? There's too much time between the games. I don't care. I'm glad, the big dogs are out of it. Not Bama, but, the other ones, I'm glad they're gone. It's great. I think it's awesome the underdogs are getting their moment here. But at the same time, you also the bye sucks. It sucks. And I just don't think that we would be getting necessarily these results if Texas Tech probably loses anyway. I mean, I don't know, man. But Tech kind of just got exposed they kind of aren't that good. I mean, they are good. They were good, but not, an elite caliber team. I don't know, though. I mean, like I said, we know Arizona State and Boise State that got the buys last time were not, they didn't deserve the buys. So, again, I mean, maybe there's not enough data, whatever. But at the same time, 7-1 is pretty substantial data to say that the bye does negatively affect these teams. And I've said it to a lot of people, and some people think I'm full of crap. They're like, no, the bye don't matter. The teams just didn't show. Dude, Ohio State has been dominant all year. I don't care that their schedule was crap. Indiana's legitimately great. They're elite, man. Like, Indiana is an elite team this year. And Ohio State and Indiana was a dogfight. And then Miami, who all season long has just been a team that has great talent but kind of just looks all right, smacks Ohio State. I think the bye matters. I do. I do think it matters. The Buckeyes are going to be back. I'm not making excuses for you. I'm telling you that the system sucks. Okay? I think that the bye is too long. I think it is way too long. At the most, it should be 2 weeks. Like you got the bye week, and you got 14 days between games. Like almost any other sport, how that works. Having 25 to 28 days between games, to me, is insane. I think that is way too long, and I think that the results that we're getting do back that up. I don't know. Again, y'all can disagree. That's fine. I think the bye's hurt. Again, at the same time of saying that, I'm glad these teams lost, though. I think it's amazing that Georgia lost. I mean, who wanted Kirby Smart to win? I mean, we all know Kirby Smart is a good coach, and we know that he recruits great. But the thing is like the timeout thing against Auburn, and half his team get in trouble and should be in jail. It's not ideal. It's hard to root for them and their fans, because they've won 2 titles in the last 5 years, the back-to-backs, a little insufferable, but whatever. So I mean, I'm glad to see him lose. I just think it's ironic all these bye teams lost. It's not an advantage. It's not an advantage to have the bye. It really isn't, especially in the current bye format. But yeah, I mean, Ole Miss played one heck of a game. I mean, they ran out of gas the first time around, but to me, it just felt like Ole Miss, man, they refused to lose. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss, well, you were praying for Alabama and Indiana's downfall, so okay. I'm not seeing a problem here. I think people like to root for teams, right? Like I'm not a Miami fan at all, but Miami beats Ohio State, cool. I think it's cool. But whatever, But yeah, dude. Like, this is cool to see, man. Ole Miss just balled out. Trinidad Chambliss was incredible. The throws he made. And the thing is, Georgia was smacking around. What was so funny to me, though, and I don't like anyone getting hurt. So don't take this out of context. I don't like nobody getting hurt. I don't want to see players getting hurt. I think that blows in every instance. But what was ironic is how Georgia was hitting Ole Miss very, very, very hard, and a lot of their players were getting hurt. Which is, again, the irony is is crazy to me. like you're laying the hit. Like, you know what? I'm gonna smack Ole Miss, right? I'm gonna smack Ole Miss. I'm gonna hurt their guy, which maybe that's not their intent, but it's football. But they're smacking them real good, and then the Georgia guys on the ground. That happened a lot in this game. So like maybe next year, maybe Georgia players should learn how to hit better without hurting themselves, because that was happening a lot tonight. Yeah, and Ole Miss, I'm actually shocked they held on. I thought their defense was going to cave, but they did a great job with the field goal stand. It's a great game. I mean, honestly, you wanted an entertaining game. I was getting kind of tired of the boring blowouts, man. Tech, Oregon, I didn't see any of it because I couldn't see any of it. I didn't miss anything. And Miami, Ohio State was boring. But as I responded to your comment, Stephen Cherry, it was not boring in the way I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be boring that Ohio State was going to just methodically beat them down. Well, it kind of ended up being the other way around. Miami methodically beat Ohio State down. That was not an entertaining game in the slightest. Indiana, Alabama. As euphoric as I was for Indiana's performance and just blown away that Curt Cignetti has done this with no 5 stars, barely any 4 stars. I'm going to keep prefacing that. I don't care what the transfers were ranked because none of those guys were highly rated either. Nobody thought Mendoza was going to be good. Nobody thought half of these dudes were going to be good. I don't want to hear that. Indiana should not be in this position. The reason they are is because Curt Cignetti has them playing harder than any other team right now in college football, outside of maybe Miami's defensive line that everybody keeps talking about. Because, yeah, that does look pretty daggum good. Indiana leveled Alabama. And I understand Alabama is not Nick Saban Alabama. They are not Nick Saban Alabama by a long shot. They got problems and plenty of them, but they're still Alabama. They're still a darn talented football team. They're just not consistently. They don't play hard consistently. They do not consistently give at maximum effort. Indiana did till the end, and that's why they killed them. That's why they won 38-3. And it blows me away. I did not expect that. I thought it would be a close game. I did pick Indiana. But I wasn't confident. And I thought with the bye thing, I thought Bama was going to be hungry after the Oklahoma game. Hey, Indiana, they've never been in this situation before. They made the playoffs last year. This time around, they're favorites. They're number 1 in the country. The Heisman curse, all that. I mean, there was a lot of reasons, angles of why people were not going to pick Indiana. And it cracks me up that all the national, pundits picked against Indiana today, just like they have all season long. Indiana wins the game, and they still don't care. Yeah, some of them, like you'll have some people, like there's a Barstool guy that's like, you know who it is if you know who it is. But he's like, I officially apologize to Indiana. Like, yeah, they could be national champions. Congratulations to him for finally coming around. But it took a while. Like, the Oregon game should have been good enough. The Ohio State game should have been good, but Ohio State didn't try. No, the job ain't finished. And by the way, if we had a regular BCS, the job would have been finished, but we don't. You have a playoff. And the thing is, I mean, obviously the end game for the rest of these teams is to win it all. But, if Indiana does not win their next game, which, I mean, if they keep playing the way that they are, they should win their next game. But they have to keep playing this well. They could lose. No team is perfect. No, and as good as Cignetti is, maybe Indiana has a poor game. The Penn State game wasn't there. Every team has bad games. Like when Ohio State won it all last year in 2024, 2025, whatever. When they won it all last year, they had the crappy game against Michigan. And they had the crappy game against Nebraska. So it happens. And they lost to Oregon. It happens. So teams that win it all have bad games. Indiana very well can win it all. Indiana might not win it all. I mean, we don't know. There's 4 teams left, and all of them have pretty good odds, chances to win it all. But if Indiana does not win, Indiana fans, you can't even. Indiana has entered a stratosphere they've never been in before, and winning it all would be the icing on all of it. Because let's be real, it's probably the best chance you're gonna get. Like, even if Cignetti does have them being like in the top 5 next year or beyond that, you don't have Alabama anymore. You don't have Ohio State or Georgia or none of these teams. Like, it's pretty good odds here, but it's pretty good odds for the rest of the Ole Miss is not a slouch. They still got all their coordinators. They still got the players. They look good. Oregon, it's tough to beat a team twice in the same season. Miami's hungry and looking strong. So, I mean, it's not over. But if Indiana does not win, you cannot look at this season and say, hey, it was a failure because they didn't win at all. That's just if your only mindset is that if you do not win a national championship, then it is failure, then every single team that does not win a national championship is a failure. Every single one. So, like, literally, Akron goes 7-6 and they suck for the last 20 years or whatever, or like UMass or something. The team is really Kent State. They go 7-6. That's a failure because they didn't win it all. It's all about expectation level. Indiana was 3-9 2 years ago. Nobody thought Indiana would be 14-0 ever. I never did. I never thought that they could probably win 10 games in a season. They sucked. They were horrible. Cignetti has done the unthinkable. This is an incredible turnaround. It is beyond anything I ever could have imagined. And I know Alabama is not great compared to what they used to be under Saban, but they're still Alabama. They're still pretty good team. Just they don't play that consistently good. Indiana destroyed them, and I'm blown away. If Indiana keeps this level of playoff, they have a great chance to go all the way. But they got that, like every single player that has been in these post games. 2 more games. Got to focus. Can't relax. Can't slack up. All that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm just so proud of, frankly, all these teams. My bias leans IU here. Since Alabama's gone, I want whoever won the Indiana-Alabama game, I wanted to win it all. If Alabama had won, that's the team I would be rooting for. But they're gone, unfortunately. So I want Indiana to win it all. If Indiana doesn't win it all, I mean, I don't really care, I guess, after that. Probably Ole Miss, I guess, because that would be cool with Lane leaving. And then it's like, well, Lane, he built the team, but he didn't get the title because he was like LSU. So that'd be kind of cool to see Ole Miss do it. After that, I don't really care. Oregon or Miami, I mean, I don't despise either of them, So, like, okay. I mean, it's still better than the regulars doing it again. But I mean, at the same time, it's like I'm not actively like cheering here. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool playoff, man, because nobody thought this was going to happen. I think it's great because DeReal, I'm actually hoping to talk to DeReal. I will have the link eventually. I don't want to be live till 4. I say it every show on these late shows because I've only gotten like a few hours of sleep in the last couple days. So I don't really need to actually be up that late. But again, this is a great time to talk college sports right now. We're having a great time. I hope I'm having a great time. So definitely I would like to talk to DeReal and to some of you guys tonight because DeReal always makes the argument, and I usually agree with him, that only 2 to 3 or 4 teams can win it all. I mean, Steven and everybody in chat, doesn't this year's playoff kind of destroy that argument, though? Doesn't it? Because you think about it. We were all like Georgia, Ohio State, 2 best teams. Winner of that game, make it to the title game. I mean, that is what the vast, and I don't want to hear that, this random person, I didn't think, I don't care. If you did, great. If you bet on it and won some money, great. I don't care. Thing is that most people said Georgia and Ohio State were the 2 best teams. And I agree. I still agree with that. I think that talent, roster-wise, they were. But they didn't win. They did not win. So they're gone. And Alabama, no one really thought. But again, if they could get by IU, then they had a chance. But they're gone. So now you've got this. You've got the 4 oddballs here. Yeah, and again, money. Money is definitely changed the game in dramatic ways. Realignment, the portal, all this stuff, right? Coaches' salaries going out, whatever. But you also have a conference shift. The SEC from top to bottom, I still think is better because I feel like the worst Big Ten teams, like the bottom is just bad. I think it sucks. The top of the Big Ten, though, at least the last 2 to 3 years, has been better than the SEC by performance. I mean, even though Ohio State lost, Oregon and Indiana are still alive, and the SEC is gone outside of Ole Miss. I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, the SEC bowl record's trash. It is trash. But again, how much stock can we put into bowl games? I'm debating on this. Because on the one hand, yeah, the SEC's bowl record is trash. Are they actually trying in these games? That's a whole other argument. I don't know, because half these games I haven't even watched. So I don't know. But the thing is that it's pretty proven that sometimes these teams in these bowl games don't show up. That's not an excuse for losing. But I know for a fact, like last year, Alabama, yeah, they didn't show up against Michigan in that bowl game. They didn't show up at all. Alabama was better than Michigan last year. They didn't show up. They just like, okay, Michigan, you win. So I don't know. I mean, I think that the Big Ten has made up a lot of ground here. Because, I mean, 5 years ago, there was no argument. The SEC was just better from top to bottom. The top teams were better. The bottom teams were better. The mid teams were better. Everything was better. Now, I mean, the Big Ten has got money, and the money is helping them out, and they're a lot better. The top's better right now. Yeah, I mean, again, they didn't, Vanderbilt's better than Iowa. All season they've been better than Iowa. Iowa beat them, great, but can we really take stock into that? Missouri, I did watch Missouri's bowl game, and Missouri sucked because Missouri had a walk-on quarterback or whatever. So that's not exactly fair. But again, the bowl games are so gimmicky now because you've got a bunch of opt-outs. You got a bunch of portal guys, guys leaving for the portal. Coaches are leaving. You got intern coaches. I don't know. I just don't think that the SEC having a horrible conference record, or a horrible record in general, rather, but a horrible conference, like a record against the other conferences is what I'm trying to say, in bowl games matters all that much in the argument. I think when you just look at how the SEC is performing at large in the regular season, I mean, did anybody really? I mean, we were talking trash about Tennessee all year. What I mean by gimmicky, Bean, is that they're not the two teams playing a normal game anymore. I don't think I should have to explain that. I know you know. I know you're just, it's okay. I don't mind it. But you know what I'm saying. A normal game in the regular season, both teams want to win, especially if they're still alive for the playoffs. Everybody's playing unless there's some injuries. Now you've got, this team's got 12 opt-outs. This team's got 14 opt-outs. Most of the starters are gone. The head coach left. There's a lot going on here. These bowl games are, and plus, how many of these teams really care now? Some of them do. I've watched a couple bowl games, and clearly at least one of the teams cared. Now it's just some games neither care. So, and what I mean by care, when you watch a game, you can tell. Indiana cared today. Indiana cared. Alabama, I think, cared for a little bit, but then they just gave up. I don't know. Like I said, I think that that's what I mean by gimmicky, is that bowl games, they're not standard games anymore where you can evaluate this team's better than this team because they won. This team didn't give a crap, and this other team gave a little bit more of a crap, and that's why they won. Iowa had no reason not to care. Iowa is that proverbial 8-9 win team. Kirk Ferentz, that's their ceiling every year. That's what they want to do. Vanderbilt was all whatever, and Pavia, he ran his mouth a lot, and people don't like him anymore, and it backfired. So, karma, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. again, I don't think a lot of those games you can really use that to say the SEC is worse. But at the end of the day, the SEC is worse today than it was 3 or 5 years ago. So, yeah, we can all agree that the Big Ten is better. I don't know if we can legitimately say from top to bottom that the Big Ten is better, but it's getting pretty close. It is getting pretty darn close. I still think, your mid-level SEC, like South Carolina sucks, but South Carolina has a better fan base than Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I know Rutgers started college football and all that, but your mid-tier Big Ten, your bottom-tier Big Ten, just they don't deliver like the SEC ones do. Like A&M, South Carolina type games, South Carolina sucks, but South Carolina's like, they got fans, they got that little Gamecock thing going all game, and it's loud as heck, and they got the Spurrier. Rutgers just has, Shiano and the birthplace of college football. I'm just saying that some of these Northwestern is like Vanderbilt, but way worse. They've literally been playing on a practice field. I don't know, dude. Just some of the bottom of the Big Ten, just they don't care. And it doesn't help that programs like Michigan State and Wisconsin are kind of trash right now either. You think about the fact that Wisconsin was really, really good a long time ago. They kind of suck now. Michigan State was good with Saban and with D'Antonio, and then they had the Mel Tucker year that ended up being gimmicky as well because they actually weren't good. That team was not good. I watched Michigan State that Mel Tucker year. They were not good, man. They barely beat Tom Allen, Indiana. You're not good. They were not a good team. Kenneth Walker was the team. Peyton Thorne was not good. So Michigan State is not. They're like they're an above average program. They're like in a, I don't know, the Washington tier. Like they're like a solid program tier. But they're bad right now. Michigan State's bad. Nebraska's just fighting to try to be relevant. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that's the mid to bottom tier Big Ten still kind of sucks. Purdue is awful. The SEC doesn't have a Purdue right now. Like I said, the SEC's declined, but the Big Ten still has some weak spots. They need to improve at the bottom. They need to improve at the bottom and in the middle. At large. We're praising Minnesota's bowl. Minnesota beat like a MAC team. Minnesota beat a MAC team. And I don't think that PJ Fleck winning like the last 8 bowl games, when most of the bowl teams he's played outside of that, I think they beat Auburn that one year when they won 11 games. Most of Minnesota's wins aren't even good in bowl games. But PJ Fleck has made a living off being Diet Kirk Ferentz, where instead of winning 8-9 games every year, he wins 6 to 7 games every year. And I'm not saying those numbers to be funny, but just whatever. It's just the way that it is. He wins around 6 games. He wins his bowl game. I can't say maybe because he wins them all, but they're against crap teams. I'm just saying, like, the Big Ten is close to the gap. But, and people are propping up the ACC here for Miami. But, does that mean the ACC was good? No. It means Miami was good or proved to be good, even though they still had the 2 losses to SMU and Louisville. But they've played a lot better now. But again, I don't know. It's interesting, man. We got Walter coming in with a $2 super chat. Appreciate it, Walter. He says, I go 3-1 round 1, 1-3 round 2. I need to do better. I went 3-1 in round 1, and I went 2-2 in round 2. Because obviously I picked Ohio State and I picked Georgia. But I also picked Indiana and Oregon. So I went 2-2. A lot of people were, it's crazy. I feel like I got more outrage for picking Oregon than I did Indiana, which is kind of strange. I picked Oregon. A lot of people are like, Tech. Got to go with Tech. In hindsight, you look at the score and you're like, okay, picking Tech was dumb. But, to be fair, spread was basically 50-50. And Tech all season it looked good. I see why people pick Tech. I get it. But, I don't know, man. I was like, Oregon, I think Oregon's just better. I mean, saying better is tough because, again, Ohio State to me is better than Miami, but they didn't win. So when I mean better, I think Oregon is a better team than Texas Tech, and they won too. But Texas Tech had some good transfers, but I feel like they weren't a complete team all around. Like Oregon had a more complete team. Dante Moore had a better season than Morton. I don't know. Texas Tech, we'll see what they do next year. I think their schedule's ridiculously easy, so if they win out or go 11-1, they'll be in the playoffs again. So we'll see what they do next year. You got SoCal Buckeyes W5S says, if Pavia didn't care, why did he play? I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I couldn't watch it. But the thing is that maybe the rest of his team didn't care. I don't know. Maybe he did. I think a lot of the crap that he did maybe got in his head too, because you think about it. I mean, like the guy had the whole Heisman thing where he was like trashing the Heisman voters and he was trashing Mendoza in Indiana. And it's like, that was a terrible look. I mean, he literally lost all of his likability. Like you already had the controversial thing, his mom, and then you had like the brother, and everything with guy. I mean, like that's not his fault, but then he does his own things, and it's like, okay, well, and now nobody likes him anymore, which is, it's a shame because he's a good player. I mean, he had a great season at a school like that. I mean, if without Indiana, Vanderbilt probably would have been the story, right? Like you think about it, like if Indiana didn't exist with Kurt Cignetti, Vanderbilt would have been the story, and they still were a big story. People really talked about Vandy because they're not usually good. If even Franklin didn't take him to this high heights when he was at Vandy, but yeah, it's just Pavia lost all of his likability. Walter says Sparty's annoying. Aside from D'Antonio, they only give a flip about beating Michigan. That sounds like Auburn though, man. That's the way I feel about Auburn. Auburn only cares when they play Alabama and Georgia, and other than that, they don't care. They don't care. They don't even show up half the time. Yeah, I clown Auburn fans for that. Like I try not to. I mean, I try to be nice to them. I know I'm an Alabama fan, but I try to be all right with the rivals. Like I try not to trash Purdue, or Auburn or like Duke basketball that hard. I really don't, because it's like, you give respect to your rivals, and hope they, give you a little respect back. But they talk trash, you talk trash back too, right? But Auburn is true. There's no denying that they don't care. Their football program just does not care unless they're playing Alabama and Georgia. And that's got to be fair. If I was the next head coach of Auburn, if I was, hypothetically, that would be my first thing. Like how Cignetti changed the culture. He's like, I got to get Indiana fans to believe. I got to get the players to believe, not buy into this preconceived notion that at Indiana we can't win. And he somehow did it. Well, you got to do that at Auburn. You got to be like, you know what? We're marking these out. Like, just put on a clipboard. Just mark out Alabama. Mark out Georgia. Look at these other 10 games. These 10 games should matter just as much as those two I crossed. Don't even think about it. Focus week by week. When we get to those games, we'll prepare and do everything we can to win. But you play as hard as you do against those two schools, you're going to be able to beat Kentucky. You're going to be able to beat Mississippi State and Arkansas, all these other crappy SEC teams that Auburn never beats. And you'll never lose to New Mexico States and stuff. So that's what the Auburn coach should do. But they don't. And even if they do, it doesn't matter because they don't do it. So it's going to be interesting to see if Michigan State and Auburn can ever break out of the funk of that. The Ohio State says, I wonder if changes will be made going forward. These top 5 conference champs getting in the bye game for top CSC. See, this is the problem, though. I understand that when you create something new, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be, flaws in the system. It's like creating a new robot or technological device. It's like there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be issues. There's going to be drawbacks until the thing finally works, and then you find more problems, and then you improve. That's why your iPhone gets 800 billion updates, but the thing is that they made this playoff structure and every year they're having to change it because it's flawed. That's not a good look that you're having to do this the fact that we've discovered this bye flaw after 8 games of evidence is pretty sad. And again, only Kurt Cignetti was able to not lose, which is hilarious to me. And the last year's system was just garbage. I don't even know, dude. Like that was terrible with the whole Boise State, Arizona State getting the top seeds like that when they weren't the top 4 teams. That was terrible. I mean, Arizona State at least played hard and gave Texas a game, but at the same time, they shouldn't have been ranked that high. Should have never been ranked that high. But yeah, I mean, like, and then this year they make it better. But then you have the whole thing where James Madison and Tulane get in because the ACC champ, ended up being Duke. Which, I mean, the thing is that I understand, like, the highest champions, that's fair. And Tulane and James Madison were ranked. That's fine. But the thing is that both teams got destroyed. I know that James Madison put up 34 on Oregon, but the game was also 35-3 after 2 quarters. It was not close. Oregon laxed up on D in the second half, and that's why Dan Lanning lost his mind. They did better today. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, those teams shouldn't be there. I'm not anti-group of 5, group of 6, whatever you want to call it. But the thing is that those teams can't compete 99.99% of the time. They just can't. And it is what it is. They just don't have the talent, the strength on the lines of scrimmage. And every time their teams are good, they lose their coaches. They can't keep them because of money. James Madison losing their coach again. All those James Madison fans that were mad that Curt Cignetti left and took all the players. Well, Bob Chesney's doing the same thing. So you can hate him just as much as you hate Cignetti, but it ain't going to change the fact that your school's a stepping stone, unfortunately. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. I don't like it. I'd love for James Madison to be like Boise State in the 2000s, but it ain't feasible. What I think is funny is, like, what are they going to do now? Like, so the ACC and the Big 12, SEC, and Big 10 are all guaranteed, right? All of them are guaranteed in, for sure. The champion or whatever, which you could still get an 8-5 Duke. Like, Miami got in as an at-large, which is still funny, but they've played well, so credit to them. But, I mean, Duke was the champion. They don't get in. What are they going to do? Like, it's the Pac-12. Is the newly rebirthed Pac-12 going to be guaranteed the other spot? Are they going to freeze out the other, conferences like the American? And I don't think they will. They'll probably just leave a spot for all the group of 6 or whatever. Still don't like calling it group of 6. What I think is funny is how the Pac-12 is going to act like, they're still a part of the Power 5, which they're not. They're literally the Mountain West. I mean, you literally added like the entirety of the Mountain West and a couple other teams to your league, but you're the Pac-12. That's how dumb names are. It ain't the Pac-12 anymore. It ain't the Pac-12. Like, nothing about the Pac-12 is in the Pac-12 anymore, except Oregon State and Washington State, who are the 2 crappiest teams in the Pac-12. Like, and they couldn't even join a power conference. So you're not, like, if they even try to brand that as a Power 5, I'm just gonna laugh. They better not, because I know, like, back in the day, the American Conference, that used to be the AAC, but now they're just the American. They're not the American Athletic Conference anymore. But the American, they used to call themselves the Power 6. Maybe in baseball, maybe in some other sports, but you sure ain't football. I mean, they got some decent programs, but guess what? The Big 12 poached most of them. So, again, I don't know. Like, I know I'm rambling a lot right now, but it's just a lot of crazy crap. Like, I honestly, I just think it's so funny. And again, I agree most of the time that there's about 3 or 4 teams that most people agree, hey, I think these are the 3 or 4 teams that can win it all. This just blows that up. Absolutely blows that up. I mean, outside of Indiana, and that's even a sketchy pick for some people, coming into this playoff. But outside of Indiana, were the other ones expected? I mean, Oregon, sure, I guess. But Ole Miss and Miami, no, definitely not. I mean, I don't think anyone thought Ole Miss would win. Like, I was even hearing like a couple of the big time media people, talking about, this game. Ole Miss, Georgia, and literally most of them were like, "Oh yeah, Georgia's gonna win," and I pretty much thought the same. I just thought I felt that Ole Miss was just gonna be defeated after Lane left, but I was wrong. Again, you have bad takes, and I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad Ole Miss won. But, I thought they'd be demoralized. That was not the case. I mean, Charlie Weiss, he called a great game. Golding was doing great on the D. Good timeout usage, too, by the way. Very good timeout usage by Pete Golding late in the game. That was good. Because it gave, Ole Miss the time that they needed to go down the field to get the field goal. So, very interesting there. But I mean, I guess I've talked enough, just by myself. I'll put the link in chat. I know Caden's dying to roast me somehow, even though everything that he foresaw did not get foreseen. So whatever. We'll see what he has to say regardless, and everybody else. But again, would not, really want to be on until 4. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we got RC. Appreciate you being here. RC says B, Jerry, Ole Miss and Georgia was everything and more. Yeah, great game. I mean, I wish all the games were this good. I wish they were. I wish that they all were. That Georgia Ole Miss game, that could have been a natty game. That's how good of a game that was. Trinidad Cham was just balled out, dude. That guy was on fire. The commentator made an NBA Jam reference. He hit 3 threes in a row. He's on fire. That was pretty funny. But we got Caden coming in here. Plug your ears if you can't take it. But here we go. Caden the Diesel Freak.
What am I supposed to say, Jeffrey? This season was awful.
Yeah, and it goes to show you, like I said, that not everything that you foresaw was foreseen.
Listen, it's hard being the defending national champions and going back to back. It's hard, let alone a 3-peat.
Yeah, it is hard. I do think it's funny, though, that you rooted for Miami and then they beat Ohio State. I do think that is funny. I can't help but think that's funny.
I got friends who are Miami Hurricane fans, and I told them, you know what? Y'all played your tails off. And, you have Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, and Jason Taylor there on the sideline. I mean, I respect them guys. Them guys paved the way for, college defensive players to bust their tails. I mean, I'm not going to disrespect Miami. They played their tails off. That's DU right there.
Yeah, I mean, great performance. And I have to, backtrack all the crap that I did give to Miami because I was like, yeah, they're not good. Yeah.
Yeah, you should apologize to Miami Hurricane fans.
I just did. I still do think that the way that the format worked out, A&M was overrated as heck. They sucked. And then the bye thing, it did help Miami, but they won. So good job. I mean, they won the games. I mean, Miami won the games. I think Notre Dame would beat Ohio State too, though, just for that fact. And probably the way Ohio State looked, maybe Texas. Maybe. Because Ohio State really, really looked bad. And I think the bye mattered. I know there's no excuses. I know Ohio State fans can't have excuses, but the bye did affect y'all. It did. It did affect y'all. Like, I'm trying to defend your team, which, again, I can't do, which is ironic. Like, the second I tried to defend your team in an L, that's wrong. So it's like, no, I got to boost Miami and say they're the best team in college football, therefore saying that Ohio State's loss was to the best team in college football, which would therefore be defending Ohio State. See, I'm trying to get your logic, but it makes no sense. Ohio State played bad. Miami was very fortunate that Ohio State played like crap, and Miami did play good, but Beck just didn't turn it over, which is something he has struggled to do all year. He's turned it over a lot. He did not turn it over against Ohio State. And Julian saying,
well, you have to understand this. We had the whole entire month of December after the Big Ten title game to get ready for that game, which I know they did. Miami just played their tails off. Bottom line, we played our tails off too. It's 23 years since we beat Miami. And after 23 years, we take our first L against Miami in a championship game. I'll give Miami, like I said, respect.
What's up, man?
Hey, Walter, how's it going? I'm sure this is going to be entertaining. Notre Dame and Ohio State fans. So Walter, do you think Notre Dame would beat Ohio State the way they played?
I'd like to say yes, but the thing is, Ohio State has two elite receivers, and Notre Dame does not have elite receivers. At least not yet. You need to have those. You need to have some great receiver play.
Notre Dame does not have an elite defense.
Whoa, relax on that, buddy.
Oh, Waller, sit your carcass down. See,
carcass,
as the former national champions, let me just say, we were defensive university.
You realize Notre Dame is also former national champions too. It's just a lot
former. Not in this era.
I thought Ohio State was probably going to win the whole thing again, but I did pick Ohio State to win. But impressive performance by Miami, that's for sure. But the thing is, we can't beat Ohio State.
Because Miami, the way they played against SMU with Louisville in the middle of the season, would not have won this game. But they got
and on top of that, they take their best. And here's the thing: unlike Notre Dame in that national championship, when it comes to Jeremiah Smith, they actually kept their best defenders on Jeremiah Smith. Notre Dame had Xavier Watts, Don Schuler, and Larry Moore. They put none of them on that Jeremiah Smith dude, and that bothers me to this day. Man, come on.
Miami played good defense. I'm gonna give them that.
Yeah,
they covered Jeremiah Smith, the Cardinal take good. What am I gonna say? There's no excuse to it. But you know what?
Yeah.
Y'all's fan base makes more excuses. I'm gonna tell you that now, Alder.
I'm not making an excuse. Well, when it comes to that now, Ohio State was a better team.
Shut up.
Ohio State was a better team, dude.
Y'all know y'all play Miami in the national championship.
Temperature starting to rise, folks. It's starting to boil.
See, here's the difference, Walter. If y'all play Miami in that national championship, y'all would have got ragdolled in Miami.
You sure?
Let's be honest.
Notre Dame would not have gotten ragdolled, probably. Not the way
Texas. Xavier Watts would have owned Cam Ward, just like he owned Caleb Williams. Xavier Watts was a Heisman killer. He would have smoked Cam Ward, Debo style.
Debo. Oh, you're bringing the name Debo.
Caleb Williams. He punked Caleb Williams Debo style. Hell, he punked USC in general Debo style. We're gonna talk you think
you want to talk Debo style. You want to talk Debo style? Excuse me, Miami's the home of Ray Lewis, the original Debo.
Yeah, he played for them a long time ago, man. Back in the era when Notre Dame was winning those former championships or whatever.
And Ohio State at this point was defensive university. So let's be clear.
At that time, Ohio State.
Notre Dame fans can go cry all you want. Notre Dame fans can say you guys are elite, blah 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 blah. I won't care.
I love how
you're putting words in my mouth, dude.
With lame. It's just so easy to clown on, but it's like, come on, man.
But we talking about Miami with Cam
Jeffrey,
Ward.
you're lucky I'm not clowning you right now.
Well,
because if I was, it'd be bad.
There's nothing to say. We got Stephen Cherry saying, "Has Jeffrey formally apologized to Mario Cristobal?" Why would I apologize to Mario Cristobal? I still think that the dude has play calling problems, but you know what? He looks like he's improved a little bit. People can improve.
He is.
That you can improve. He's not making the errors he was making 3-4 years ago. So if he keeps doing better.
Well, he's got a good defensive coordinator too.
List of coaches.
Well, Stephen Cherry makes a good point. Stephen makes a good point. You need to apologize to Miami fans, especially Mario Cristobal, because Jason Taylor being put in as the defensive coordinator and a guy who's an alum at the University of Miami and having Ray Lewis in that locker room help them get extra motivated. I think that's what get them set over the edge to win those games. And I'm agreeing with Steven on this.
Let me ask
you
a question.
Jeffrey refuses to officially apologize when he is wrong.
Let me ask you a question. Did Ray Lewis and all those other guys, that other dude,
Michael Irvin, Jason Taylor,
Michael Irvin for a minute, that dude was going completely crazy, right? Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis, why were they not able to motivate Miami the last 25 years?
I wouldn't know.
One was too busy being an NFL Hall of Fame linebacker.
Well, I mean, Walter, you just put it right out there. Ray Lewis was busy playing the NFL. Michael Irvin was being a Hall of Fame receiver. Jason Taylor was being a Hall of Fame defensive lineman. But I think this is like.
Don't forget about Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
I did apologize to
I'm a
Miami.
Colts
I
fan.
said
I know
that
about
they
that,
played
dude.
better than I thought that they were going to play. That
But
is an
here's-
apology.
He's not in the
here's
Hall
my
of Fame by
thing.
this year. I'm a loser.
But here's my thing. This was the perfect time to bring him in. This was the perfect year for Mario Cristobal to bring him in.
And it's
Because
also a perfect year for everybody else that's left in the playoffs right now, too.
yeah, and I know you and everybody else partying that Ohio State's not in the playoffs.
Trust me,
It
I think
wouldn't
more
surprise-
people are excited Georgia's not in there right now because Georgia at least looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, I would have liked to see Georgia kick the heck out of
Sugar Bowl is
Oregon
definitely not
again.
Georgia's place.
Why in the world do you just want the big dogs to win, man? Why can't you root for a little underdog every now and then? It's okay.
Sorry, Jeffrey, I'm part of Big Dog
if
U.
it's
You
not
got
my-
a problem with that?
Okay, sure.
If
We got
it's not my
Sports Talk with
team's
all saying,
expense,
why would I
fine by
lie
me.
about picking Miami to win it all? Think about that. And then Bean says exactly.
See, here's the thing, Jeffrey. You'll never be able to get accepted into Big Dog U. You'll never
I
understand
root
what it's
for
like to be in
Alabama, and that is a bigger dog than Ohio State.
I'm gonna disagree on that completely, but that's a whole nother day for us to argue.
Well, I mean, we've already talked about it before, but I mean,
And Notre Dame ain't no
a lot
big
of
dog
reasons.
school. That's a bunch of school kids, church kids,
Easy, man.
Catholic school kids. Pieces of garbage.
Easy, man.
You okay, Caden? You sound like you're coming down with something.
I think he drank too many Budweisers.
I don't even drink Budweisers. I was just saying that y'all are a bunch of sorry school kids that go to
Alabama is
that
not
can't play
sorry
ball.
school kids. Okay.
I'm talking about Notre Dame, Jeffrey.
Well, we know that Notre Dame has struggled in the last 25
Jeffrey,
years. So Miami until recently. And Notre Dame was in the national championship game last year. Can Miami do that? We'll see. They have a shot if they beat Ole Miss.
Jeffrey, I'm talking.
Yeah, I think they
so
do
keep your mouth shut. And Walter, let me remind you, for the last 30 years, Ohio State has owned Notre Dame. 30 years.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that, dude.
So you have no.
Ohio State.
So as the current and as former national champions in this modern era, I think I have a right to say that is a fact. Y'all are just overrated, and the SEC is overrated. And Steven made that point, and I agree with Steven. The SEC is overrated.
Even though you root for Georgia, too.
Well, because they're actually a good team on the other hand. They're actually a good team.
What about Ole Miss? Are they a good team?
Overrated.
They just beat Georgia. What are you talking about?
Well,
because really, Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss, goes to LSU, and they know that the team that they're going to play is a team that just beat them early in the season by a good amount. So that kind of extra motivation got them to go in there and win the game in Louisiana. Would that not surprise me? No.
The one thing that I have to tell you, there's no arguing with Ohio State fans.
You can't because they're right every time.
So my national championship game pick was
Hummus Hero was on here the other show that I was live, and he said that Miami posed some problems. He was being reasonable. Great Ohio State fan, Hummus Hero. Caden, you can't. You can't. Nothing you can do.
No,
Sports Talk with Austin says, so my national championship game pick was Miami over Oregon, 31-26.
I agree with Austin. And you know what? I agree with Hummus earlier when he was on here. Miami posed some problems. Like, I honestly agree with him. They did pose some problems.
Steven Cherry's hoping the ratings are terrible to prove that Georgia and Ohio State should have been in anyway.
I think the best way for a group of 5 team to get a playoff win was to match one of them up with Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma's offense was so pedestrian, it wasn't funny.
Oklahoma was not great. I mean, they would have never made the playoffs if Alabama didn't turn the ball over 3 times at home. They should have never been in. And LSU should be in.
You know what? And watching the game, Ohio State, Miami, and see the secondary does absolutely Miami secondary beat us. I was like, yeah, we're gonna have some problems, especially Julius saying get sacked a couple times. I was like, yeah, we're in for a dogfight.
I'm not even guaranteeing that Notre Dame would beat Indiana, but come on, I think they would have challenged Indiana there. Definitely would have scored more than 3 points. Alabama's offense was so pedestrian. I mean, you can tell me a team with Love and Price went to put up more points than Alabama? Come on.
And the Godfather's got to run his ugly mouth in here again. Get out of here.
Jeffrey.
You ugly
Jeffrey, what did I say? What did I say that you said? No, interested in the rating. I'm saying that I'm implying that because you said that, it was a joke. Yeah, that is what I said. I said that if Georgia and Ohio State should be in the Final Four, even though they lost, because the ratings would have been better. It was a joke. I know you didn't say that. I'm just saying because you said this, Georgia, it kind of implies that the ratings are going to suck because the teams aren't the blue bloods in there. That was all I was saying. It was a joke, but I was kind of using what you said.
To Bean and Steven about you drinking and smoking weed. Yeah, I mean, that makes probably a good point. You probably smoke weed once in a while, Jeffrey.
Some people are shocked that I don't smoke weed.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't smoke either. And I'm glad I don't drink.
Nice rumors that are being spread right now for no reason when we should be talking about football.
Some people think I smoke. There's probably going to be quite a few people that think that I smoke weed.
But you know what? It's fine. We're out of the playoffs. That just gives Ohio State more.
Come on, Steven. I didn't mean it like that. Come on, man. Yeah, I know you're kidding. You don't want Oregon to blow. Come on. Come on, man.
Only because friends of mine
because it's bull crap. No, I don't. Come on, people. You know good and well that all of this talk is crap. Talk is cheap right now. It is not worth a dang. You know that for a fact here. There's not, dude. The thing is that if an individual at 1 a.m. on the East Coast was drinking and having weed the whole time, you know what would happen? They would not be on here at all. They would be completely. I mean, literally, I haven't even gotten a lot of sleep last couple of days, and somehow still rolling here at 1 a.m. And I appreciate you guys for being here, which is why I'm doing this show right now, because of you guys, and I appreciate your support so much. But the fact that you would imply something of that nature is crazy, especially considering we got this guy beneath me.
Hey, Jeffrey, you remember that cotton candy I got in the mail from the Ohio State football team? That container cotton candy?
I don't recall this at all, but
well, I showed Burks and I said, should I eat it? And Burks it probably tastes like trash. And you know what I did?
About what happened in the Discord
about the jug of cotton candy?
All I know is you got banned, dude.
Yeah, because y'all are a bunch of cowards.
Hey, I didn't do it. I didn't ban you. I didn't do it. But I mean,
Jackson is a coward.
You kind of deserved it.
Well, you know what, Jeffrey? I ate that cotton candy out of the from Ohio State. Yeah, I ate Ohio State cotton candy.
Doesn't this sound like a guy that's on weed right now? Like, come on, man.
Jeffrey, I have the actual container to prove that.
Oh, what? Wow, man. Playoff, quarterfinal.
The Cobb Bowl, 12/31/25.
Great. That's great, man. That's great.
I ate the cotton candy. And I'll be honest with you, Jeffrey, the cotton candy tasted really well. Tasted like almost like tasted like Buckeye cotton candy, to be fair. Like, you know,
it should have been all about the U, man.
Man, I don't know what, but this cotton candy was really good. I'm keeping the container though.
Dude, why are
That's
you so obsessed with some cotton candy?
well. Literally, do you know how many stuff I get from like the literal players like what snack containers of
Oh
Woody?
my god!
Here we go again. He's got that relationship with Caleb Downs, folks. He got that.
Cotton candy. What cotton candy? Go to bed, Caden. Go to bed. Go to bed.
I don't only just have relationships with Caleb Downs, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Caleb
that's
Downs
what you
isn't
always mention, man.
Caleb Downs isn't the only guy that I know at Ohio State.
They don't
I'm just
follow
going to
you
tell you
on
that.
Twitter, though, man.
Because I chose not to follow him on Twitter. You gotta understand that. If I wanted to follow him on Twitter, I could.
Hey,
So
well,
instead, I
if they
don't.
knew you or know you, then why wouldn't they follow you with you not having to follow them?
Because
Jackson.
I literally have two of the players' phone numbers on my phone, and I literally just texted him not even an hour, 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Why did you suck so bad? I can't resist right now. I'm sorry. This is great.
So,
And we've got two more dummies in the building. Good gravy.
so I just wanted to come on here real fast and give
Austin,
congratulations
shut up.
Oh,
Shut up.
to Jeffrey.
Shut
Shut
up.
up.
Just shut up,
Because
Austin.
Jeffrey,
Godfather and Austin,
congrats on
shut
the
up.
win.
Just shut up. Shut up, Austin. Just shut up.
Okay.
Godfather, you shut your mouth too. And Austin,
What?
you shut your mouth.
What?
Wow, Godfather turned
This dude
heel on
should-
me. Heel on me.
I'm heel. I'm ready to kill somebody. Go to bed.
Is that the name of the Ohio State fan?
Caden?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
He also goes by Dan sometimes, but he's Caden, Dan, the Diesel Freak. I don't know.
Okay,
And can I
go
just say
ahead.
there's two idiots, two more
Caden.
idiots in the building. Godfather and Austin.
Let Austin say what he's gonna say. Go ahead, Austin. Go
Austin,
Wait, Godfather's back on Austin's side again.
I don't give a crap what Austin wants to say. Austin's gonna say the usual dumb crap he does always.
Hey, listen.
Stupid.
I'm going to say
He
straight here
sounds
right
like my
now.
friend Gary.
No, Austin. How about
Congratulations to Jeffrey. I mean, it was a great day for Jeffrey, regardless of the outcome. I'm sorry for Jackson and Godfather that it couldn't have
I
ended
have
better.
saddened by Alabama's loss. They disappointed me big time.
I'm devastated.
But
I'm
I
devastated.
just wanted to give congratulations to Jeffrey. It's amazing what Indiana's doing, and hopefully they could take it home for him.
Yeah, and I'll be like living. Shoot, I live like 4 hours away or so from Indiana University. Live in
Where's
South Bend,
Jackson
Indiana.
at? Is Jackson coming on tonight? Jeffrey? We need Jackson. We need Jackson in this chat.
But
man, good gravy.
now, I do want to say this. Jeffrey, who told you about Miami upsetting Ohio State? Who told you about that?
You did, Austin.
Thank you.
Anyone that's not a Miami fan, raise your hands if you picked Miami to beat Ohio State.
Who's in the toilet?
Yeah, put your hands down, you bunch of liars.
Somebody's in the toilet trying to talk.
Name me.
Not me.
Jeffrey screams. He's froze.
Somebody could be doing dishes for all we know.
Hey, Austin, you were the one that called Ohio State to lose. Let me just say that.
Jeffrey left it with us.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Godfather. You're in charge.
No, I'm not.
You're in
I finally found your YouTube channel, Austin.
Who's brushing their teeth? Come on, Jeffrey. It ain't that funny. Oh, you're in charge, Austin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I scared Jeffrey off, I guess. Hot dang.
Died. I don't know why that happened, but we're back. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, no, now left Godfather in charge of your channel while you were gone.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't, Jeffrey. He's telling a lie.
Yeah, I don't believe that one. I'd have to go back and
I kind of like
watch
this.
footage.
I actually like the layout better.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
honestly,
mean, I
it's
can
better.
only see you, Walter, and myself because I'm
Because
not
all that
reading
stuff
that one.
be blocking us.
But the other three, I can't see Caden because he refuses to show us nothing but his cotton candy and Godfather. We know what Godfather looks like, but he's
You see what I look like, Jeffrey, so don't
I
make
know
that whole
exactly what you.
excuse.
No one wants to, but I'm just saying you could,
Exactly.
but
You keep messing. I'm going on a hunger strike. Just keep on messing with me. I'm going on a hunger strike.
So let me ask you this, Jeffrey. Who's got the best story remaining out of the four? Is it Indiana or Ole Miss?
I mean, I still think
Indiana.
Indiana's the best story in college football, but I mean, Ole Miss is right there.
Yeah. Just imagine if Ole Miss wins it without Lane Kiffin.
It's a crazy story.
Oh,
And
and
Indiana was the worst program of all time.
This is some serious BS. Seriously,
Caden doesn't
why
care
can't
about
you be-
anybody but Ohio State, so anything that's not Ohio State is what he just said.
See,
Not big.
why can't you be happy, Caden? This is good for the sport that the underdogs are winning. Why do you want the big dogs to always win? That's bad. That means, like, let the little guys win
you
for
got
one.
spoiled.
Austin,
spoiled,
I'm a
that's
member
why.
of the Big Dogs Club. Excuse me.
Well, listen
Big
here,
dog
Jeffrey's a
club.
member of the big dog clubs too, and look who he's pulling for, Indiana.
Yeah, let me get this.
You could be a
Big
big dog
dog.
and still and root for the little dog, Caden.
Yeah, I'm an Alabama fan for life, but I'm still pulling for the underdog here now that Alabama's gone. I didn't want Alabama to lose, but they're gone now, so I'm pulling for it. That's okay.
Well,
Maybe
I'm just going to say
vote.
this. I hope Miami beats the rest of everyone.
There you go. They're not really an underdog in the sense of being national champions, like a lot. They're not like the underdog story of Indiana or Ole Miss in that.
The only reason
they are
I'm picking
underdogs in the fact that currently Miami's not.
the only reason I'm picking Miami is because Ray Lewis is one of my favorite all-time NFL linebackers,
See,
and B,
One of my best
I
friends
have a
is
lot
a
of
big
buddies who
Ravens
went to
fan.
Miami.
I believe I can touch the
Ray Lewis was
sky.
his idol.
I think about it every night and day.
Godfather,
Lord.
quit your singing. Nobody gives a daggone crap.
See,
Well, it was better than your opera that you were doing about 3 months ago.
Yeah, sure was. A lot better.
But bottom line is, I have a lot more respect for Miami than Notre Dame, Indiana, and Alabama both
So
combined.
you like the convicts over the Catholics? That's fair. I mean, teach his own.
No, I like defensive U over the pathetic school church kids, which I can say that's true.
See, here's the thing. I want to give a shout out to Trinidad Chambliss, my guys, because he played a heck of a ball game.
Lewis, so he likes Miami.
I mean,
I don't care who wins it at this point. I think Miami and flip a coin with Oregon and Indiana.
It's tough
because it's hard to beat the same team
Indiana has
twice.
played better than Oregon all year, but we'll see.
Oregon's defense today, I think, silenced a lot of people because I know, Jeffrey, you and Jackson and me, to some extent, all three of us have been on here saying Oregon's defense is very susceptible. They shut down one of the best offenses in the Big 12. Now, I know you could say, well, that's the Big 12.
Hold on.
But,
hey, Austin, hold on. Jeffrey, pull up Stephen Sherry's recent comment, please.
I'm not pulling that up.
Texas Tech
dude, that ain't ever going to happen.
Texas Tech runs a glorified high school offense, Austin.
Yeah, Caden, what happened to you saying the Big 12 was so great? Remember you said that Texas Tech was going to go all the way. Alabama was going to lose to Texas Tech, and BYU should have been in on like what happened to that?
I still stand on that.
Oregon debunked that today, Caden, because I couldn't tell that Texas Tech was legit. Now their defense today came to ball. That game is not on Texas Tech's defense. I think we can all agree on that. That was not on their defense.
Yeah.
Their offense played poor. That's what that
No,
was.
and
Their offense.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Austin, because Jeffrey unfortunately is still for us. Anyways, Austin, I do
Yes,
have
yes.
some friends at Miami that went to Miami, so at least I have a little more respect for Miami than retarded Indiana and
Jeffrey's
retarded
frozen again. He's
Alabama
frozen.
and retarded Notre Dame.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, man. Go stick your finger in your ear.
Lame insults again from the dumbest idiots. Jeez.
Stick one finger in your ear, the other one in your nose, and then cough.
Really, Godfather, is that the
Man, that,
best insults you got? Because I've heard better.
That's the best I can do.
this dude I think this dude had too much to drink tonight.
I don't even drink.
Godfather, go drink a Coke Zero and get lost. I'm just going to tell you that now.
I make all my teeth rot now and fall out.
Well, go rot them out because that's all you need to do.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
As far as Walter, he can get lost.
Austin, I thought you was in charge of this channel when Jeffrey
I'm
left.
not going nowhere.
Listen, we're gonna right the ship here. Here's how we're gonna do this. Godfather, let's talk about the Bama performance today. What the heck happened?
There's nothing to talk about. Did nothing happen.
Yeah, because Alabama played poorly.
I mean, Caden, with all due respect, Ohio State didn't play that much better than Bama. I couldn't tell the difference by watching those two games.
They did put up more points than Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
we showed up to play against Miami.
Jeffrey, please come back. Come back, Jeffrey.
I couldn't tell.
My internet is wanting me to end this stream. I'm gonna try to keep going, but it is dying.
Y'all go ahead.
I don't understand it. It just keeps going in and out.
Listen, I enjoy talking to all you cats. I'll hop out of here. It's probably and let y'all do some talking.
Oh, man, don't go nowhere, bro.
Nah, you got
Godfather. Nobody gives a crap. Get out of here.
Somebody's got to keep Caden straight. Austin can handle it. He can do it. He's got it.
Get out of here, Godfather. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get lost.
You don't have to go, Godfather, just because Caden's telling you to get. You don't have to leave.
Okay.
Hey, Caden. Caden called me stupid. I'm still here.
Varmint.
He called you stupid.
Yeah, he calls me stupid retard. He calls me.
He said a lot worse.
Yeah, he has.
You remember he said that thing. He said that thing. The other week, we all remember what he said, and I can't believe he actually said that.
What a dumb SOB.
No, you said the thing that you would rather be something over something else, and it was insane and completely uncalled for.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit too far, and like, why did you say that? But whatever, again, to each his own, but...
This is only Talk Sports, where we talk sports and all hell breaks loose.
We only talk sports. Yeah. We talk sports when we want to talk sports sometimes.
I don't have to let you on. I just do it because it's fun. It's fun just listening to how everything just falls apart. And then once you leave, it all restabilizes.
Yeah, sure does.
Well, Jeffrey, and what I said a couple weeks ago that you won't say that Jackson probably would say, yeah, I didn't stutter about that.
Well, Jackson would repeat it, just especially if you left it in a super chat, but he doesn't believe it. And he doesn't agree with it.
Oh, I have. And let me be honest. Even with who I'm dating now.
Yeah, that person that suspiciously sounded like yourself writing in the opposite person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that y'all talking about his girlfriend?
Yeah, Mary J. Watson. You had him talking about the melon thing as her, and it's like, dude, it clearly was you because you spelled it wrong.
Was it his girlfriend from Notre Dame was talking about?
Oh my!
Did she kin to Manti Te'o? Somehow they kin somehow.
In her
Wow!
defense, because I was on the phone with her yesterday, she literally is on a business trip. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's a little frisky.
Uh-huh.
Let me just clarify on her end.
Yeah, we really got a lot of clarification the other day when you said that you were going to show us some footage, and yeah, I never.
Listen. I forgot to film it. Okay.
Yeah,
I got busy.
Forgot. Just like Jeffrey forgot that he's dating Taylor Swift, Caden. Yeah.
Hey, Austin, let me just ask you: have you ever felt 15 pounds worth of melanin in your on your face because of?
You talking about watermelon?
No,
Caden. Nor do I want to. Thank you very much.
Bruh. Wait, you know what? Wait a second. Is he talking about how explicit is this getting?
Yeah, we're trying. I'm trying my hardest to keep it PG, but it's teetering right now.
See, this is what Caden does.
Okay.
He takes you down the rabbit hole.
I know.
Because I don't think he has a moral compass, so he's trying to drag everyone else with him. Me and Jeffrey, we're good Christian boys. We're good Christian boys here. We're trying to be good, and Caden over here, Mr. Satan himself, trying to drag us down with him.
Shane,
no.
Sorry,
oh,
I'm not that evil.
The channel's gone. Man. It's gone, Jeffrey. It's over. It's over.
Oh, are we okay? Are we still live?
You guys can do what you want, but I do whatever the hell I want.
Sure, Austin. I'm hung out with some crazy women. Okay, that's true.
Listen, I'm loyal to my girlfriend.
But you know what? It's all right.
It's all right. Okay, it's good to know that it's all right.
Jeffrey, get your holy water.
Yeah, Caden, we don't have no. This ain't no porno channel now. This ain't no porno channel. It's sports talk TV.
Wow,
dude. It all started when you guys started talking about smoking weed. It all went downhill from there.
Hey, listen. I'm straight edge. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. I'm a good Christian boy. I do good things here. Okay?
I respect that.
I mean, I don't drink or smoke either.
You just inhale diesel fumes, but I mean that's okay.
You would think that I smoke, but I don't. It's only because I'm a skateboarder.
At least I enjoy working on diesel trucks. All right, I'm just gonna say it's the best job.
I know you turned down the chance of a lifetime to play for the Ohio State Buckeyes to deal with diesel.
It wasn't just Ohio State.
Who else was it?
Oh yeah, Akron and Kent State.
It wasn't Akron.
Who was it? Auburn?
Nope, Miami.
Oh. Yeah, it's only two offers for Ohio State and Miami.
I could have played football when I was in high school, but I declined.
Only thing he played was with his.
I thought about playing strong safety or cornerback, but I was
sorry, Jeffrey. I'm sorry.
I wanted to, but I was like, I was like, I know Miami party nights get really bad. So,
okay, did you hear what he said? You don't have to repeat that, Godfather, but did you hear what he said?
I didn't hear what.
I'm not going to repeat.
I could have played football when I was in high school, but I was too in love with skateboarding.
Tony Hawk.
Hey, I couldn't understand the Godfather.
This is exactly what happens when you don't have Jackson Johnson in here. Exactly what happens.
This is exactly what happens when I don't have a short leash on the collars like Mark Rogers does. If I did, it'd be like, boop, gone. But
go on. Yeah.
I might have to do
Mark
that
Rogers is a dumb. Mark Rogers is a dumb SOB.
Whoa, Caden! Whoa, my dude! Whoa.
He said worse about the man, and Mark Rogers is a very intelligent college football
Let me get my harmonic.
Analysts and everything else. You don't have to agree with them.
Exactly.
Like any other analyst. You don't have to agree with me. My take sometimes is I'm 101 on my opinion, and no one else agrees with me, and that's okay.
I called Paul Feinbaum a moron for rooting for Alabama.
But why is it wrong to root for a team?
Because you literally overhype them every year, and then either they don't go to the playoffs, and then you fuss about it for like 6 months, and then or they go to the playoffs to lose the first round or
Alabama's
lose it
only missed the playoffs once in like 6 years.
Twice.
Who cares? You've missed it more.
And your fan base still cried about it. Yeah, get over it.
Whoa!
Ohio State fans have cried about it a lot when they missed it too. Let's be fair.
What, Caden, your fan base is still fussing over 2018 because y'all couldn't beat Purdue. What are you talking about? You want to talk about crying? Your fan base is still calling foul on that. You're still claiming. Your fan base on Twitter, every day I see it. Oh, if we were in the 2018 playoffs, we would have beaten Clemson. We wouldn't have done what Alabama did. Sure you would have. You couldn't even beat Purdue.
Yeah.
Very true.
Wow.
Clemson was a juggernaut.
Wow. Purdue, dude.
Clemson was a juggernaut.
Yeah, and they lost to Iowa the year before that.
That's right.
2017 to Nate Stanley.
Yeah, Purdue, dude.
Those were fun times. The annual Ohio State upset. Now they steamroll everybody until Michigan, but now they beat them again, and now playoffs. But, Ohio State's great. They just can't win it all every year, man. Alabama sucked. I agree, Steven. They sucked. But Indiana was dominant.
See, here's the thing. I think the difference is the thing with Ohio State and the Alabama debacle here. The reason why they're getting compared is because one team in Alabama, this had been brewing for months. We had seen this coming. Like, a lot of people,
7.5-point underdogs, and Ohio State were 9.5-point favorites.
Like, everyone was ready to crown, including the ones sitting next to Jeffrey up there, back-to-back champions. A lot of people picked them to go all the way again.
He's been
and
wrong
some
a
people,
lot, Austin. He said that Alabama was going to lose to Georgia in Athens. False. He said that Indiana wasn't going to be able to make the playoffs. False. He said Indiana wasn't going to beat Ohio State. False. He said that Indiana wasn't going to advance in the playoffs. False. He said Ohio. He's wrong a lot. He doesn't have. Like I said, the foreseen thing. That's why he hasn't said it in a while, because everything that he has foreseen has been just complete crap.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. It's not just Caden. There's a lot of big analysts out there that was predicting that as well. I even heard some people go out on record and say Julian Sand was screwed out of the Heisman. In what world was that factual?
I don't see how he was. I don't see how he was screwed out of the Heisman. Fernando Mendoza.
They said that if the winner of the game was going to win the Heisman, that's what everybody agreed upon. That's basically what we all said. If Ohio State had won, then Sand would have got it. Even though I still think Mendoza should have won the award.
No arguments for me.
But Sand would have won the award.
Hey, Jeffrey, hold on. Hummus, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. I actually just woke back up. I fell asleep during the Georgia Ole Miss game. I don't even know who won.
You missed the best one.
Yeah, I was really.
Was it?
That was a very good game too.
Was it good? Who ended up winning?
Know who I think should have been the
Ole Miss.
Know who I think really should have been the MVP of that game? The kicker.
Really?
It wasn't just that winning kick.
Yep,
yeah, Ole Miss hit some big field goals. That kicker did good.
You know, I thought that
that dude kicked on 54 plus yards like it was nothing. It was like he did like it was nothing.
At halftime, I thought that for sure that they were just going to lose. I thought Ole Miss was going to lose like that, the way that the first half ended. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to let myself fall asleep.
I was in the same boat, Hummus. I literally had Georgia saying, yeah, they're going to just destroy them. And then I found out Ole Miss beat them.
So you know what this means, guys? This means
what?
For the first time since 2013, we will have a champion that is not named Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, or Michigan.
LSU.
Oh, LSU. And LSU, you can throw them in there too. So we're
I'm not
we're gonna have a new champion for the first time. A team that doesn't come out of those group of 6.
And Miami's the only one with extensive history of winning.
Yeah, so
the other ones, Indiana and Ole Miss will be first timers, and I believe Oregon's never won it either.
Yeah, Oregon's the only team that Oregon's kind of a strange one because they do have a pedigree built up at this point over the past 15 years. But yeah, Ole Miss is like a pretty also ran type of program, and obviously
Indiana was complete dog water.
One of the worst teams. Do you think that? I mean, not saying Ole Miss can't go on and win it, but do you guys think that this is probably kind of the writing on the wall for the SEC also?
Well, I mean, Ole Miss gave everything they had to. I mean, they're going to be wore out, man. I feel like Ole Miss had to fight harder to win that game than Miami did.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to agree with Jeffrey for the first time in like 9 to 10 months.
Indiana's the only team Indiana's the only team to survive in 2 years off of the bye.
Yeah, it's amazing because honestly, when Ohio State lost, I thought Indiana was done for real. I was sitting there like last night, like, yeah, Indiana's probably cooked here. And I was already picked Oregon. So I was like Oregon and Georgia was the one I was like, could go either way. But I'm like, I was not confident on the buys. And the only one that got the team ready to play was Cignetti. The rest of it, I mean, Kirby, I think he got his team ready to play, but it still lost.
That's the one thing that scares me with these teams that have a first round bye.
Yeah,
teams with first round bye.
There's something to it. I'm not saying it could be partially coincidence and also a little bit something to it. Man, I'm not making excuses, but Ohio State came out flat. They were a lot better in the second half. But you could see the layoff was affected their first couple drives, no doubt about it. Now, it's not an excuse to lose. They should have been able to beat Miami, but
yeah, I agree
with everything you just said. Like I'm with you. Like you don't excuse the loss, the performance, all that, while still acknowledging that it probably had something to do with it. But Ryan Day should have had him better prepared, like Cignetti did.
Cignetti, yep, exactly. I mean,
because Cignetti was the only one, and Indiana was the only team that maybe the first drive, that was it. Outside of that, Indiana got it together and destroyed Alabama. And I don't care how bad Alabama is, because Alabama, when they were playing good, could still be good. Indiana shut them down.
Also another thing, though, I think that Indiana's just the best team. I don't think anybody should be doubting that at this point. So they're the most well-coached team, and they're probably the most experienced veteran team, which is huge. And this is something a lot of Ohio State fans were discounting, and I knew it all along. And if you remember, Jackson was asking me at the end of the show last week, he was saying, do you have any concerns? And I said, yeah, I have concerns. And Caden was telling me that I was crazy, and I said the offensive line's a concern, for one. But the other thing is just experience. Last year's Ohio State team was so experienced, had so many veterans on that team, and it makes a huge difference.
And Hummus, you know what? After watching the game last night, I completely realize what you said, and I have to admit, I was an idiot. Okay.
Well, you're not an idiot. You just had your.
I just made a stupid call. All right, it was on my end.
And a lot. Well, the thing is that it's not talent. It's not talent on Ohio State's offensive line. It's scheme and coaching. They're not getting these kids ready. And then, of course, Saraval getting injured didn't help.
The thing about let's think about this, though. Miami is if Miami is just one win away from hosting a national championship at their house.
Yeah.
It'd be big.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeffrey must have popped out.
We'll just have to see what ends up happening. But, I mean, I just can't see anybody beating Indiana. At this point, I can't see anybody beating Indiana. But I guess Oregon, they hung in there for a while the first time. And as the old adage goes, and we saw, I guess, tonight with Georgia and Ole Miss, it's hard to beat a good team twice. So we'll see what happens with Oregon. And Oregon,
that's the thing that scares me.
We'll see, but I don't know. Indiana against Alabama today was probably the most dominant. It was the most dominant playoff game since Ohio State against Oregon last year.
Yeah. Hey, Hummus. Let me ask you, how you been, buddy? I talked to you since last week when you actually made those factual comments correctly.
I've been doing all right. I'm just dealing with a little depression today over the game. I know it's crazy that
depression. You're not the only one who's dealing with a slight bit of, well, I wouldn't say really much depression, but I'm honestly drained out of energy because literally I was with my girlfriend last week and it was just, oh man, she drained me out good. Yeah, it seems like everybody's internet's going out.
Damn. Oh boy. This is just you and me.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna honestly say, as a guy who has a girlfriend who, well,
oh, there we go.
Drained my energy out last week. Yeah, that really didn't help my.
We're back.
Hey, I have a girlfriend too. Been with her for almost 2 years.
I wasn't honestly,
hopefully I can get married to her.
Caden, I wasn't as depressed as I like when Ohio State lost to Alabama in 2022 on New Year's Eve. I was like crushed by that because it was a last second deal, and I just knew you just lost the national championship. Watching that last night, I knew Ohio State probably wasn't winning at all. I already had that feeling like midway through that game, even if we pull this off. And I already knew midway through the game it's probably not going to happen. Now they did fight back, and but it wasn't the same type of feeling. And also coming off the national title last year as a sports fan, you can't be greedy and think you're going to win every year. Even though it'd be nice to get a back-to-back one, but
and even a three-peat.
At least you're not suffering like almost 4 years like I am.
Yeah. Wait, who are you? Well,
Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame. Oh, goodness. You guys are the longest suffering blue blood out there.
Well, here's the other thing, Thomas. Here's the other thing. Georgia, after they won their second national championship, their fan base will say that they would win a third. And then they plummeted it after that.
I'm so glad. I'm glad that Georgia lost. Their fans are so terrible to deal with. They became so arrogant and overinflated ego. And I know people say the same thing about Ohio State fans, but a lot of Ohio State fans are
you can't really blame them after winning 2 national championships. Hell, I might have a bit of an ego if Notre Dame won 2 natties in a row.
Ah, man, I don't like the big.
I mean, hell, I wish I.
Yeah,
I mean,
no doubt.
Not a cocky ego, but more like.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
I really just say my meanness toward USC though.
I understand.
Hey, Hummus, can you pull your microphone forward? I can't hear you. If you could speak up a bit, bub. Could you speak up a little louder, Hummus?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Thomas. The one thing that's going to be bothering me until Notre Dame wins the national championship is why was Christian Gray on Jeremiah Smith one-on-one instead of Larry Moore or Xavier Watts or Don Shula? And even if he still catches it, fine, but I want to know if we put our best on their best. You know what I mean?
See, you're still thinking about that. You'll always be thinking about that game forever. But I mean, honestly, not to be mean, man, but you guys weren't winning that game. You weren't coming back and winning it. I know that it's still but
it killed a chance though.
Yeah,
I mean, at least I mean, I'm a firm believer. If you're gonna get beat with putting your best on their best.
Oh, I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would lose like that. I mean, Jeremiah Smith. I mean, I mean, and it can still happen with Jeremiah Smith. I think he could be the next receiver to win the Heisman, but that's if he gets those Devontae Smith numbers. But that's a whole different story.
And he could get those Devontae Adams numbers or Devontae Smith numbers. It's just they got to work on the system.
He didn't even win the Biletnikoff this year, the best receiver award.
That surprised me.
That surprised me. Well, and here's the good news, Hummus, just for you, because you're like the only Ohio State fan besides Steve and I can agree with. No disrespect to Steven. Ohio State found a wide receiver and offensive coordinator.
Who's the OC?
I think it's the guy from LSU.
Oh, I thought that they just announced him as wide receiver coach. I didn't know they announced him as OC. I hope he's not OC.
Well, I think, it is the wide receivers head coach. My bad.
Well, he was well, you're partially right though, because he was assistant or he was co OC at LSU. But
since Brian Hartline decided to take his leave, which was a bad decision in my opinion.
Well, it didn't help things this year either.
No. Brian Hartline leaving was a big mistake.
Yeah, they might have had a better peak at the end of the season if Hartline didn't do what he did. But hey, you can't really blame Hartline.
Hartline was the heart of our offense, but USF had to come calling. Dumb son of bitches.
Well, I mean, you can't really blame him. He was.
I'm not blaming Hartline. I'm just saying that was just a dumb.
What is Jeffrey doing?
I don't know why. It seems strange that he chose USF. I mean, I can kind of understand why with the recruiting ability down there, but I mean, come on now. It's not like he took the job at Florida.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's like, why USF? What's special about USF over Ohio State?
Well, maybe he's looking at it as like a career move in a different way than we think. Maybe he's looking at it as it's a good place to learn, to become a head coach and learn, and he'll be able to get better talent maybe because of his name than the people that he's going against in the American. Like maybe that's the way he's looking.
Well, I mean,
maybe he's looking at the.
You gotta start small sometimes.
Not like he's trying to cut his teeth, so maybe he's looking at like I'm gonna go down here, and I'm not gonna win a national title, but maybe I'll be able to win the American, advance to the playoff, get a lot of experience, and then eventually I'll be able to go to a bigger school, maybe even back to Ohio State and be head coach.
Yeah, I mean I can agree on that, Brian Hartline. Oh, hey, Jeffrey's back.
But
hey, Caden.
Then again, though,
I mean, I'm trying to hang out as long as I can, but my internet keeps dying.
But let's talk a little bit more about Jeffrey's choice of headwear tonight, because Jeffrey, I think you should, since you're an original Alabama fan, I think you should be forced to wear the Alabama hat.
Hey, well, I did have the Alabama hat on the Alabama channel. I was already on that after the game with Travion and Jackson, and we were all sad, and I was the most critical of all. I was, well, Travion was too. I was.
Yeah, I heard a bunch of the Alabama talk, and I was like, yeah, y'all are gonna go.
I'm just messing.
Is anything that I said untrue on that show? I talked about how poor they played. I talked about how, man, I wish they had played better. I wish they had given Indiana more of a game, maybe won the game. They didn't do good. I mean,
Alabama just played straight up poor. They just played straight up poor.
I was saying it, if you remember, once again, sometimes, not to say that I always know what I'm talking about, but a couple weeks back, I also said that Alabama would not win a national title not being able to run the ball.
And that proved to be true.
Eventually, a game will come along where you either run the ball or you lose. And that kind of
Indiana ran the ball very well. They ran for like 230 yards.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, can you think of a team in the recent past? I mean, I can think of teams that ran better than others. Like, even Ohio State last year, they didn't run, like, tremendously well, but it was pretty balanced. Usually, I can think of in the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years that couldn't really pass very well. But I'd take a team that can run very well and pass, a little bit average, rather than a team that can't run at all. You can't run at all, you're going to lose eventually.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, Hummus. If you can't run the ball well, then your passing game has to at least be somewhat good. And I know you're a college football fan, veteran. You've been around the block 20, 30 years. And I'm only 22 years, but I'm gonna be honest. I may be half the years, but I mean I watch the film and it's like Ohio State can do both. They can run the ball and then they can pass the ball. Miami just literally counted us every single play. And I'm not gonna give Miami crap. 100%. I told my buddy who knows a lot of the guys at the U, and I was like, I give y'all. I mean, I have a lot more respect for those cats than Indiana and Alabama fans and all them bunch of them cowards and Notre Dame fans, because they can put it up and shut. They can put up and shut up. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's not Ohio State. Everybody was saying for the past couple of weeks, Ohio State couldn't run the ball. Ohio State actually ran the ball fine last night. Like the rushing stats they're misleading. With college, everybody forgets the sack yardage gets factored in.
The saying pick six.
Yeah, and then also not only the sack yardage getting factored in, but also Ohio State in both games kept getting behind the chains because of the sacks too. So it was like a double whammy with the sacks. Not only is it taking away your rushing yardage, but also it's
taking away your passing yard.
It's preventing you from running the ball. Like Bo Jackson was running for like 5 yards a carry last night. He did fine. He had like 10 or 11 carries for like 55 or 60 yards. He was doing fine. Wasn't the issue. The issue was that they weren't able to run the ball because they kept getting sacked. You can't run the ball if it's second and 19.
Yeah, Indiana sacked saying 5 times, and did Miami do it 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So
and you know what, Thomas? Bottom line is Miami was a good team, and they're a good team still.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I have a lot of respect for those cats.
I have a lot of respect for Miami's team and Cristobal now, but
especially they got 2 Hall of Famers on that team, and then they had a third one come down there, kick them right in the butt and tell them, hey, they better get their butts up and wake up, Ray Lewis.
But their fans, man, their fans are so insufferable. Once again, talking about how Georgia fans act like Miami. And I know this is kind of crazy coming from an Ohio State fan, because
you're not the only Ohio State fan who's talked crazy.
It might be crazy coming from an Ohio State fan to complain about other fan bases, but man, the Miami fans, they've been just like waiting and lurking and waiting to do this. So on any Ohio State chat you go to anywhere right now, they're so unbearable.
Thomas, literally been here. I've been waiting for Miami fans to start saying that crap for 23 years. So you're not the only one.
I don't know. They're hard to deal with, but this is why I don't ever talk smack, and I don't do the stuff, because I know the shoe can always be on the other foot. Like, I don't understand people's tendency to just like want to talk so much crap, because then it's like, ultimately you always lose as a sports fan, and it doesn't particularly feel great. So like that's why I stay like, but I mean I'm a polite person in general. Like I don't talk crap to people about anything.
Hey,
Right?
hummus. You know, somebody was telling me. Someone was telling me somewhere. I don't know where on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. And I'm like, and they're like, dude, you and hummus are almost similar, but you need. And someone said you need to start acting like hummus. Stop the trash talking and just be honest. I'm
Well,
like,
there's a level to it, Caden. You can talk trash, but you gotta, I mean,
It's about being nuanced.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little
nuance.
smack talk, but like I don't ever go over the line, and I don't allow it to
Steven
come to
Sherry, hey Jeffrey, pull up Steven Sherry's comment. Yeah, listen, Steven, I love talking crap. All right, it's the best feeling ever. I'm gonna be honest.
Until what you say turns out to not be true, and then people can.
Yeah, and you and Jackson and Austin were partying like there was no tomorrow.
There's nothing.
I mean, you
wrong
kind of
with
made it easy for that to occur, though.
There's nothing wrong with
Well,
a little.
and no, we won the national championship, and I was like, oh, this team's gonna be back even stronger, and we were gonna repeat because Georgia repeated also. And it's like, oh, we're the Buckeyes. We're that freight train that's coming down the track. And then, okay, lost to Indiana, beat Michigan again after 5 years, and then, well, we lost to Miami. And it's hard repeating. And I said it again, and Hummus, I think you can agree with me. Repeating as national champions is a hard thing to do, let alone repeat a three-peat championship.
It's super hard. It's why you only see it maybe once to twice a decade, and it just doesn't happen very often.
Maybe once or twice in a lifetime.
No, it happens about once or twice every decade. You had
Georgia fan.
You had Alabama repeat under Saban. What years were those, Jeffrey? 11 and 12.
Yeah, those were 11, 12.
11 and 12 Alabama. You had
Georgia 21, 22.
21, 22, and in the 2000s you had USC, which I know USC, one of them was split, but still, technically USC repeated, and then you had Nebraska in 94, 95. So it happens on average close to once every decade. You'll get
2 decades, let alone.
But then prior to that, I don't think anybody repeated since the 70s. So I don't think there was a repeat champion.
The 70s was like OSU and Michigan.
The 70s, there were a couple repeat champions. But you go back to the 70s, the problem is there were so many split national champions because up until like 1973-ish, there was three major sources naming national champs. So the likelihood that you were going to have repeat champs was higher.
And I'll say this: the '80s were the most. And I'll say this: Ohio State in the '80s should have won the national championship against Oklahoma.
The '80s, Ohio State that's like the worst decade, the worst. And I know it's still better than some teams. Worse.
No, but the '80s had Chris Spielman, Chris Carter, and I'm like Earl Bruce won against Michigan. But here's the other thing: Ohio State had some recruits around from like the London, Ohio area that were really good that they were looking at, and they were like, Ohio State was trying to build a powerhouse team. And I'll tell you this, Thomas, to be honest, I know of a couple of guys that were offered by Ohio State in the '80s, like literally right in my neighborhood, in my neck of the woods, and literally one of them went, but 3 of them didn't go, and the 3 that didn't go are still working their tails off around here.
Are you from Madison County, Caden?
Yep.
Are you?
Born and bred.
I've got some family in Madison County, actually.
Really, like you guys know, like Isaiah Jones?
No, I don't know Isaiah Jones. I got some. Wait, is Mount Sterling? That's in Madison County, right?
Yeah, that London area.
Yeah, I've got some family in Mount Sterling.
No shit.
Yep.
I go through that town maybe once or twice.
It's not a very big town. Most of my family lives in Delaware County, so I'm not too far away from you.
But and like I said, I knew like some families that their fathers and uncles were like. So Madison Plains there back in the 80s and like early mid 80s, like early 90s, they had a bunch of kids that Ohio State wanted to recruit. And them in London, and it's like, oh my God, it was ridiculous. Because Miami and Oklahoma were trying to fight over the guys, to say like, hey, they're building these national championship teams, which was absurd.
Yeah, I don't think of London as producing a lot of talent, but things change from decade to decade.
Madison Plains, I'll say that's a school that really had some monsters.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, I've read a bunch of I've read a story on a couple kids that were off by Ohio State by Roos personally to go play to win a national championship there. And I know of an article that I read on a couple, and they're like, these dominant guys on defense were going to be the key weapons to Ohio State's, reign of terror in the 80s with Chris Spielman in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it never happened, which is absurd because the 80s had Chris Spielman, one of the all-time greats. So what if Madison Plains sent a couple of those kids that had offers and, raised hell with Chris Spielman and, won the 80s? Like, we'll never know.
Yeah, we don't.
Think
A
about it.
lot of regions in Ohio produce a good amount of talent. That region in general does. It's just that
There are a lot of blue collar.
Madison County specifically doesn't, but Springfield produces a good amount of talent. You got guys coming out of obviously Dayton, so
Marysville.
yeah, Marysville's produced some. Gabe Powers, they produced a couple Buckeyes here or there. Well, at least one. That's one that he ended up transferring out, but
Yeah, but the bottom line is, and I'm going to ask you this question again, Thomas. If you think about those kids from Madison Plains who were offered in the 80s, so say Ohio State got them and said, we're going to win a national championship in the 80s. Would you consider Ohio State a better team back in the 80s if they did win those national championships?
well, yeah, but I mean, I don't like. I vaguely remember the '80s. Honestly, like I mean, I remember like more of because when you're a real little kid, it's kind of hard to understand football completely unless
It's
you
like
start
the
playing.
late 2000s for me. I watched it in like 08, 09, 07, but
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I think I remember the last time Ohio State lost to Indiana, but like, do I remember it well? No. I remember my dad watching the game, I believe, but like, I mean, I don't know. I was like
But
6 or 7 years old, so it's kind of hard to
but
remember.
Thomas, I guess the what if questions we'll never know what would have happened.
But you know, every team ends up, having those days where you think your team's the best. It just seems with Ohio State, like seems like so often we'll be thinking we have the best team, and then things just won't work out right. Like I said, I don't think
It's
the
not
best.
it's not only just thinking it. It's like, you know, winning a national championship. It gives you that right to be like, oh, we're gonna dominate the rest of our games. And then it's like after that, it's like we take one loss. It's like, oh, what the hell, man? And then losing the championship is like, oh man, what the hell?
it's a different era now too. I think in the past, in the past it was harder for an Indiana to come up and bite you. It was harder for a Miami, a team that had been down, to return to form like that. And now we're in a 12-team playoff. I mean, the reality is that if it was still, once again, like it's give and take. You know what I mean? The reality is, if we were still in the 4-team playoff, Ohio State would have been automatically in the semis, and they would have been playing Georgia, or who was number? Yeah, they would have been playing Georgia.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech would have been playing Indiana. Ohio State would have been playing Georgia. But last year, no 12-team playoff. You don't get in. You don't win it. So, crazy thing is, who knows? The chips may have fell different this year, and we might have won it this year and didn't win it last year if the playoff didn't expand. So, but you can't have everything in life. You can't have everything in life. It was a good year for most of the year. We beat Michigan. So at least they can't talk smack. I'd rather have Miami fans talking smack than them talking smack anymore.
Yeah, I can agree on that, Hummus. I'd rather hear Miami fans.
It was disappointing to end the year, Caden. But I mean, I think a couple weeks, months, you'll look back and you'll say, well, it wasn't an all bad season. It was a cool run. It was a cool run.
I told Jackson Jeffrey this earlier. I said Ohio State will be back, and they'll be back a lot more pissed off, and they'll be back to raise more hell. I told Jeffrey
Ohio State will always be back. That's one thing.
Yeah, and we'll be back to raise more hell on these guys, and we'll give them hell. Indiana isn't safe. I'm gonna tell you that now. Now, Jeffrey, you can hide behind your camera, but I'm gonna tell you this now.
I'm not hiding. I'm just trying to troubleshoot, man. I mean, my internet's been dying all over the place. It's working right now.
Yeah.
To wrap up the show soon, because I think my internet is just not gonna cooperate, and mostly everyone's left, which I hate. I hate that. We were having a great show. My internet didn't want to cooperate. But well,
I'm just going to tell you this.
Going to be back. Indiana, they could be back next year and be really good again. We'll see. Alabama, I think, will be still good, but I mean,
Well, I'm just going to tell you this, Jeffrey, and you can tell Jackson this because unfortunately the Discord is a coward son bitch.
Hey, you hear that, Jackson? Caden is calling your Discord a bunch of cowards.
These some bitches. But the bottom line is we'll be back stronger than ever. And here's the little saying: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, this loss is gonna make them boys stronger, and they're gonna come back and they're gonna raise hell and they're gonna kick y'all's ass. I'm just gonna tell you that now. So be prepared for an ass whooping.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's completely I'm not going to doubt Indiana. No way, not after this year. But I still don't know if it's sustainable. Even Jeffrey said this. Eventually, you'll have to start recruiting because sooner or later your portal luck. Not saying it's luck, but sooner or later you won't be able to get the guys out of the portal every year, and a lot of these guys are going to be gone too.
But not only we don't even just have to use the portal, Hummus. We've got the recruitment class.
Yeah, no, Ohio State's not building the portal, but I'm saying with Indiana. I mean, to a certain degree, I think it's lightning in the bottle, but to a certain degree, I think Cignetti's just a really good coach, and he assembled a good staff. And
but the question is, can Cignetti hold it together? That's the question.
Well,
because I've seen a lot of memes on Kurt Cignetti, and I hear he's like, yeah, I win, take it to the bank, blah 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 blah.
I win was from his first press conference, and he said that because he wanted the Indiana fans to get riled up and believe in the program. He hasn't been saying that type of stuff recently.
And nobody knew who he was, so it just...
he did it to make a statement. That's the only reason he did it.
Nobody knew.
Yeah, well, you know what? Until and I'm going to say this, He may have made the playoffs, but there's one grave mistake that Indiana made. That was beating Ohio State. Because now that set them off, and now Ohio State loses to Miami. That sets them off even further, and that team's gonna come back.
Well, it is weird that Ohio State last year lost to Michigan and then won it all, and then this year they lost to Indiana and they didn't turn it around. It's weird.
But here's the thing I'm telling you, Jeffrey, be aware and be warned of, and I speak this to Jack specifically as well. Beware, because Ohio State will be back, and we'll be back to kick your asses. I'm just gonna tell you that, honestly.
Well, like I said, Ohio State will always be back. Most recession-proof program in the past 40 years. So,
Michael Hogg, it's Kane, the Diesel Freak. Do you know that I'm the most hated Ohio State fan on this dang planet? More hated than Burks? Hell, I'm the guy who literally said I literally drank my girlfriend's you know what. Like, excuse me, I blew up Jeffrey's channel multiple times.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I know that it's rough to watch a team that beat you win it all, but I'd rather see Indiana win it all than Miami. You might have a different feeling, Kaden.
I agree with that.
I'd rather see Miami because Indiana's just not Indiana don't feel right.
That's all right, but objectively,
listen. And what I said a couple of weeks ago, Hummus, and I don't know if you heard what I said a couple of weeks ago, about I'd rather do something than listen to this crap. And I don't know if you saw that.
I don't know, but objectively, if you can remove yourself from being an Ohio State fan and Indiana fans chirping at us all year, like objectively, Indiana is a good story, so that's why. I look at it and I say I'm going to pull for Indiana at this point just because I'd rather see them. I guess Ole Miss is too. It would be kind of funny to see. It would be kind of funny to see Ole Miss and win it all. Have to see Lane Kiffin watch Ole Miss win it after he leaves. But do I think that'll happen? Probably not. But
yeah, and I'm up to disagree with you. I'm rooting for Miami to pull it because I'm gonna say this again, as honest as I can be, and this is non-biased. I'd rather drink my girlfriend's say so than listen to Indiana fans celebrate and party.
Oh, Miami fans are so much worse though, Kaden.
And my girlfriend hangs out with other women from Miami. Let me know you that.
I can't deal with Miami fans. They're so terrible leading up to it. They've been so delusional.
I know, but then they waited for 23 years, and guess what? They get what they deserve, and I give them respect and credit. Like, do you and I'm gonna say this, Thomas. Do you know how many times I've said controversial crap on this channel? Let alone stuff about my personal life with my girlfriend. Like, literally. I literally said it in Jeffrey's comments. I'd rather drink my girlfriend's you know what over listening to Jackson and Jeffrey complain. And that blew up this entire channel.
Yeah, well,
I hope you know what goes in the blank.
I know. I was here last week.
And it's well.
You know what, Kaden? Though your girlfriend has to be pregnant for that to be a thing.
She isn't. She literally took like the supplement pills.
I don't think that's a thing unless you become pregnant.
No, it is a thing. Because literally, I literally asked her to verify it. So But hey, Hummus, it's good to hear from you, man. Stop by my channel anytime on Sundays. I'm gonna do a show Sunday, so if you want to stop by, you're welcome to.
All right, yeah, I'll subscribe to your channel. I didn't even think about that before.
Because I'm like, maybe because somebody said I need to get educated by Hummus, and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I respect Hummus, and I'm like, maybe Hummus and I need to have some education sessions on YouTube because apparently I'm the dumbest OSU fan besides Hummus being the smartest OSU fan besides Stephen Cherry.
I don't know about that, but I've been watching Ohio State for close to 35 years at this point, so I don't know. I know a few things. As far as X's and O's, I'm not that smart because I never played, never coached,
But yeah, Sunday I'll be live 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be talking about how I'm pulling for Miami.
all right. Well, yeah, I'll subscribe to your channel. I'll try to make it there.
And like I said, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and yeah, I think Jeffrey's had a hard time. But, all right, Hummus. Well, I'll see you Sunday if I do, and Jackson Jeffrey. Hey, at least Alabama's not in. No more roll time.
All right, Caden. So I guess you're leaving. I guess we'll just sign off here for Jeffrey if he's going to come back or not. But
Well,
I'm back.
okay.
While my internet is still working. Thanks for everybody for being here. Hope everybody had a great time watching the playoffs. Hope everybody has a happy new year.
Hey, Jeffrey, hold on.
Congrats to Indiana. Congrats to everybody who won. It's great to see it happen for the underdogs. And I will definitely be seeing you guys soon. I will be live again soon, hopefully.
Hey, Jeffrey, and don't forget to mention.
Being here.
Hey,